We have the pleasure of talking to Jenny Simpson, a world champion in the 1500, taking gold in 2011, and an Olympic bronze medalist from Rio in 2016. She's a three-time Olympian representing Team USA and also the former American record holder in the 3,000-meter steeplechase, an 11-time U.S. national champion. And let's add to that resume a little bit, shall we? In February 2026, Fleet Feet named Jenny Simpson as their first ever chief running officer. Please welcome to the show the legendary Jenny Simpson. Thank you for
Hi,
joining us.
guys. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's fun to be back on FloTrack.
Yeah, man, it's fun to have you here, and we hope there's like more appearances to come because we're usually used to seeing Team USA across your chest. You have Fleet Feet across your chest right now. Please tell us about your
That's
new role.
that's right. Yeah, I think it's always I don't know, it's always just like a big undertaking to wrap up a career and then to enter a season of transition and come out the other side. I think it just takes so much faith to know that once you've kind of wrapped up being an athlete that you'll land somewhere else. And for me, it just felt really important to stay in the sport and plug into a place where I felt like I could maybe move the needle a little bit, maybe make a difference in our sport. And so I'm happy to have found a home at Fleet Feet where hopefully I can do that.
So Jenny, last time I saw you, you were kicking off your 50 state RV road trip. I think Austin was one of your first stops. So that's kind of what, to my knowledge, what you've been up to the last year. Tell me how life has changed in this new chapter. It looks like you're in a nice new office. And also part two of that question is chief running officer. What exactly does that mean? What does that entail?
Yeah, okay, so there's a lot there. So I'll take you back a little bit and kind of give you a bit of a timeline. So I ran my last competitive race, finished off 15 years as a pro at the New York City Marathon. And that was really special too. Like I was a 1,500-meter runner. Nia, you mentioned I steeplechased early in my career, but the last year of my career I spent marathoning, which was really far and really long for somebody that specialized in track and field for most of my career. But it was incredible. And to finish my last few miles of my whole career right there in New York City, across the marathon finish line, was really meaningful. And so when I finished that up, it's November, December, I'm kind of metaphorically hanging up the spikes, hanging up the racing shoes and thinking, what's next? And I didn't want to really rush myself into a new job or a new project or a new idea. I wanted kind of some space and some time to appreciate my career, kind of process my career, and kind of have a little bit of a powwow with my husband and my family and figure out kind of what was next, what the next chapter for Jenny Simpson would look like. So with that kind of spirit, my husband and I decided to pack up an RV with our two little dogs. And what I really wanted to do is just a passion project. We wanted to run all over the country and we wanted to run with Americans in all 50 states. So we spent all of 2025, we spent 1 week in each state. So at one point we were in Wisconsin, we were in Hawaii, we were in Florida, we were all over the place and ran with run clubs and run specialty stores all over the country. That was really, in so many ways, not so much life changing, it was like life broadening. Like we just got to see the whole spectrum of what it looks like to be a runner or to call yourself a runner in this country. And so after running so hard in one narrow lane of high performance for so long, I got to really like break free and explore. We ran the Grand Canyon. We ran a bunch of different races, from a 4-block race all the way to the marathon. We got to run kind of slow, fun club runs. We got to run some competitive track sessions. In fact, when we were out in Austin, we're all running out on the track one day. So it was just like a really mind expanding year. And so to wrap up that year with a call from Joey Pointer, the CEO at Fleet Feet, to say, hey, we want to do some really big things in running and we'd like your leadership and what some of that can look like. It just was kind of the opportunity of a lifetime for an athlete like me.
I'd love to like stick to that point, that last point you were saying. You are no stranger to change. You are no stranger to impact. I would say that you've definitely impacted track and field, especially in the American space, in the middle and long distance running space specifically, and then going on to marathoning, and now in this new role as a chief running officer. So tell me, Jenny, what is the impact that you hope to make in this role with Fleet Feet?
Oh, that's a really big question. So I don't know that I want my answer today to be perfect. I think one of the strengths I've had in my career is I've always been curious about how to be better. And I've always been curious about what else I could personally be good at. So I'll give you an example. I ran the steeplechase all 4 years in college. It was my senior year in college that I ran the 1500 meters and had a breakout performance at the Prefontaine Classic. And I learned I was good at something else. I was good at the 1500 meters as well. While I raced the 1500 meters for most of my career, I was really, really good at long runs. You can ask, 10 or 15 years of Colorado Buffaloes about Jenny Simpson out on the long run. And there was always this curiosity.
There's a video probably from like 2010 somewhere on FloTrack. I've seen it.
Yeah. I have the legend of the long run of me out at Mags and Gold Hill and out on some of the roads north of Boulder. And it's just a strength of the Colorado program in general, is the long run. And so I always had a little bit of a curiosity, like how would that translate if I focused on the marathon? And so, I think having that curiosity, and then in the more narrow kind of space of the 1500 meters, I became really obsessed with how to kind of maximize my recovery and my sleep, and how to, kind of that journey of nutrition over time, and how to get better and better and refine my skills there. And how just to support my love of running and my desire to be the best in the world. And so I think that curiosity is going to set me up well for this next role. So Chief Running Officer, I want to bring, a really runner obsessed, runner focused point of view to a lot of our departments and our conversations. And like I said, having the incredible trust and faith of the Fleet Feet team to be put in a position of leadership and be able to kind of have that voice in a place where it can really have an immediate impact here at Fleet Feet is a privilege. And I really appreciate kind of, like I said, having that faith from Fleet Feet, and then hopefully some of that curiosity and some of that drive and some of the things I've learned along the way can really be helpful in how Fleet Feet then shows up in the running space to help runners be their very best.
So Jenny, you have that beautiful looking office behind you. You just told us before the call that you're calling in from Fleet Feet HQ. I'm curious, as somebody who's been an athlete and a road tripper and a world traveler, what have been some of your first impressions? What's it been like coming into the corporate world, albeit in a very fun industry like Fleet Feet and running? But just curious, kind of about these first few weeks as you kind of get up to speed and acclimating.
Yeah, I think that's one of the interesting things about this role is I'm not here just to be a mouthpiece for the good work that's here, but to actually roll up my sleeves and take part and be part of the hard and good work that's happening here. So I have a much more I just have a different job now. I don't, get in athletic clothes and go to the track, or get in athletic clothes and go to an event as an athlete. I come into an office and I'm working here. I had meetings this morning. We have a brand advisory committee that I'm meeting with over the next 2 days with the team here at Fleet Feet. And yeah, just in a real space that is making a real impact on runners. And it's kind of a different. No, it's totally different. It's just a very, very different environment, but I'm so eager to learn something new, and so eager to be into a place and bring kind of that road trip energy into an office building, and kind of remind people that the world is big. People are really into running. People are really curious and exploring new things. And I'm excited to be able to meet those runners where they are.
Yeah, like we were all saying, you're definitely no stranger to change and no stranger to challenges. But I want to bring it back a little bit to let's talk about running, right? USA's is coming up this weekend, and me and Johnny were talking about it earlier. We want to know, what are you looking forward to? What performances, which races, which athletes? There's no wrong answer. You can give multiple.
Yeah. So okay, indoors is interesting because I didn't run indoors in high school. I ran it a little bit in college, and then I ran kind of like 1 or 2 indoor races a year as a pro. But Okay, one of the things that just amazes me is first of all, running is like a rocket ship right now. Like the times and the performances these
Yeah.
people are putting up. But I guess the reason why I mentioned I come from a little bit of an old school mentality of like cross country in the fall, and track in the spring and or in the summer, and then you're a little bit careful about the indoor season because you don't want to, totally over. People are so fit year round now. That is what is
Yeah.
like blowing my mind. I was just in Winston-Salem at the JDL at the Sound Running Meet indoors, and watching Cole Hawker run just lights out American record there, and watching so many other people just run really fast. It's like with the shoes and the lights and the time of year, like I'm not that far away from competing, and it just is still totally mind blowing to me.
Yeah, we were talking about Cole Hawker actually a couple weeks ago, and he's one of those runners like he always knows how to show up during championship season. However, I think this season is going to be very different where there's not going to be many instances where he's coming anything other than first. Like I don't
Yeah.
see a lot of instances where he's coming second, third, fourth, and I'm willing to put up out there that he could possibly have a undefeated season coming up. Because sometimes you'll see, all right, he may like play second, third, and it's like, okay, it is what it is. But this feels a little different. Like what we've seen, it feels different.
It is fun to watch somebody get up to the top, and then it's like when they, and I think I had a little bit of this experience. Like I won the World Championships in 2011, but then when you can reflect on that experience and figure out how to repeat that process and how to like win on purpose every time when you go out, you start feeling less lucky and you feel more like, okay, this is an intentional, real, meaningful process and I know how to get it done. I definitely, from kind of my freshman year, I won NCAAs in the steeplechase my freshman year, and it was a big surprise. Like it was a surprise to me, it was a surprise to my coaches. But I think I really had like the talent. I had an incredible coaching staff that got me ready for it, and then the will to win, right? So it was kind of the right combination. But then to figure out over the next 4 years of college how to show up and know I know what it takes to win today, and I have what it takes to win today. To watch other athletes have that maturation process is just really incredible. And I think Cole is one of those people. You know, there are moments where you surprise yourself, but now you're going out on a mission and you really know you can get it done.
And kind of piggybacking off that, one of the things that we really love following is it seems like the talent is just progressively getting younger, like with storylines like Sam Ruth and Quincy Wilson, these super young 16-year-old all-stars. For somebody who's had such a fulfilling career that lasted, and what would be kind of your advice or some takeaways that you think contributed to kind of such a long-lasting, fulfilling career, for decades?
Yeah, thank you. I think I love that question because I was really fortunate that I was good in high school, I was good in college, I was good after college. And it is hard. It is hard to be good for a long time. I recently was telling somebody, I have kind of this mentality that I don't often root for the underdog because I know how hard it is once you're on top to stay on top. It's so hard for the person with all the pressure and all of the training and the target on their back to like keep making it happen. And I really like rooting for that person. It's all about development. It's all about knowing how can I master the phase I'm in today. So when I was in high school, I tried to be the best high schooler. When I was in college, I tried to be the best college runner. And I took the amount of time that I had to really develop and incrementally master those segments of the sport before I advanced on to the next place. A lot of that comes from incredible guidance from coaches. My high school coach was amazing, never had my sights on college until I was ready to go there. College was the same way. It was like, how can we be the best NCAA athlete? And there weren't tons of conversations, even when I was already running in the Golden League and the Diamond League races and World Championships. It was always about how can I be the very, very best NCAA athlete. So then by the time I got to sign a contract and have a pro career, it was just about being the best runner on the track, no matter where I was, what race, what distance. And so that development, I think, was a really big part of the longevity of my career.
Perfectly said. Jenny, this has been nothing short of amazing. And I hope you come back, and you know what? Come back whenever. It's open. But just hit us up and tell us, hey, I'm trying to come tomorrow. Say less. You're in the show.
Well,
But
Fleet Feet and FloTrack have a bit of a thing on this summer called the Diamond League, right? The Diamond League
yes.
coverage.
Oh yeah.
And that's my like home turf. Like that's my territory. I ran a lot of Diamond Leagues in my career, won a trophy or two. And so I'm sure we're going to be running to each other again this summer for sure.
I can't wait. And hopefully we can see you in the new HQ as well.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much. Everyone give it up for the legendary Jenny Simpson. And we will thank you. Thank you. This was amazing.
Yeah, it's so good to see you guys. And again, like you mentioned, Austin, I was down there in the van, from the van to the boardroom. You guys can find me. You never know where I'll be. If we're in the van at some point down in Austin, we'll come knock on the door. So thank you so much for having me. This is a really fun conversation.
You're very
Thank you,
welcome.
Jenny.
Come again.